This week I want to talk about patience. Do you know anyone who kind of gets under your skin or just irritates you? You just don't want to be in their presence, or their character or their personality just seems to make you just not want to be close to them. Well, I used to think, Lord, give me more patience. And I was thinking that somehow I would have more grace for people. But actually, when we pray that prayer, give me more patience, do you know what God does? He sends people to you. He sends people because he wants to work on that character, that nature of patience that he displays to us. You see, patience basically needs to be tested in kind of undesirable circumstances, or through people whose characters perhaps are not that mature, or display anger or hatred or prejudice or injustice. Patience is one of these characters that doesn't react with offense or judgment. In fact, it's often calm and silent, and in the midst of the thing that irritates us, we, rather than react to it, we actually respond to it. We actually don't allow it to affect us. You see, patience is actually grounded in this incredible word called grace. It has this ability to look through failures and mistakes, and rather than judging someone or criticizing someone, it actually looks at the heart of who God created that person or that circumstance to be, so that you're always looking for the best. When you begin to understand patience actually has a character of encouragement. It's not just passive, it's not silent. It's actually looking for an opportunity to bring health, redemption, growth. When you're teaching a baby to walk, I have 5 kids, and I had the privilege of teaching each one to begin to stand and then take those baby steps. Well, the first thing you do, you take their fingers and they grab you, and bit by bit their wobbly feet begin to take one movement to another movement, step by step, and then you let go. So what happens? Well, obviously the baby falls down and it kind of looks at you, and maybe it will cry. Now, in that moment when it fails to walk, do you look at that baby and say, "You'll never walk, you're just a mistake, you're a failure, you're never going to be able to do this"? No. You see, you have this patience, you have this need to encourage, you have this need to believe in the person who's failed. And that's really the foundation for patience. It's really believing in people. It's not about having to be right about everything. It's actually understanding the nature of relationship. You see, you have to have a vision for the people around you or the circumstance around you. You have to believe that it can be transformed, that it can be redeemed, that growth can actually take place and lead people or the circumstances to something that reflects more of the nature of who God is. That's the power of patience. You see, that's how God is with you. When you make a mistake, he doesn't leave you or forsake you or reject you. Rather, he looks at those failures and he looks to ways to redeem you and to launch you into success, into your future. You see, God would rather have a relationship with you than be right. You have maybe you're married, and as 2 married couples fight with each other, I often ask the question, who's right? And they both say, me, all right? But when 2 people who are right start arguing with each other, they will end up wronging each other. And that's the place where righteousness does not necessarily lead to patience, but rather the ability to love, the ability to see people for the joy of who they are. That's when things happen, when you value relationship more than having to be right. You see, patience has this persevering, this enduring nature about it, and it sees the opportunities for the situations you are in to be able to break through into greater fullness, greater fruitfulness. If you're inventing something, or if you're creative or innovative, you don't give up on the first mistake. You just keep persevering because you have a vision. And when you have that vision, you press all the way through. And even though it might be tedious, you're not looking for a quick fix. You just realize that unless I get this right, then I will never be able to have something to build upon for the success of the future. You see, patience is what we need to see our destiny and our future come alive and become fruitful. We can't run at the first sign of trouble. We can't judge and criticize and put down and shame or embarrass because of failure. Rather, we need to embrace the failure and be launched into our future, because when we grow from our failure, that's when patience is produced in us. Patience for ourselves, patience for each other, patience for the journey of our circumstance that will bring transformation to our hearts so that we can transform the world. This is Steve Chua.